Welcome to the Pausecast. I'm your host, Rachel O'Mara. This is a podcast for high-achieving tech leaders who want to lead with more confidence, clarity, and calm in a world that never seems to slow down. Because the pause isn't just about stopping, it's about leading with intention. All right. Thank you so much for being here today on the Pausecast. I am so excited today as I am joined by a dear friend and a former colleague that I worked with at Google, Becky Werff. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm excited because I know we're going to get into all things career related and pivots and how to navigate self-doubt today. And I just want you, Becky, to share a little bit of background. Who the heck are you? And tell us a little bit about how you got to this point.
It's been an amazing journey. So I have been coming from the world of tech. So online tech, as you know, we worked together at Google. I was in that field and, over many different companies, plenty of startups and Google for the last 14 years, but in online tech. And gosh, the journey led me from both coasts. So I started out in the Northwest, moved down to Southern California, then spent some time in New York City, which was amazing, moved back to California. So it had been quite a journey kind of working up the corporate ladder and always working for someone else and doing a great job. I love my time. Most recently, my husband and I started our own company and I took a pause, made a massive pivot and invested in it full time. So I stepped away from the corporate world about a year ago now, and I haven't looked back. It's been amazing.
Yeah, well, congratulations on all your moves. That's so fun. And I know we did work together for, 6+ years maybe on the authorized buyers world and in the era of real-time bidding, going off the ground, and you're in the Bay Area as well. So tell us a little bit about how you got started in this new position, this new role that you have.
My husband actually was the one who found this opportunity and really networked and researched and kind of teed up this opportunity for us. He grew up in a world of entrepreneurs. So his family, all of them have wonderful careers and have run their own businesses and even extended family. So he's been around that environment. I was on the complete opposite side of that. I've always been, looking for stability and consistent paychecks and thinking about healthcare and retirement and all these things that one does when they're in the corporate world. So we were very much yin and yang when it came to starting on our own businesses. He was all in. It wasn't until I was feeling very burnt out and kind of bored and had grown tired of the problems I was trying to solve in the world of advertising and tech that it wasn't challenging for me anymore. So it was really the right time and place to start this opportunity for both of us. So we invested heavily in each other and in this vision. And here we are. Now it's been a year that we've been doing it together full time. It's been the best thing I could have done. Congratulations
on the 1 year mark. That's a big deal. And I just got to ask this. What's it like working with your husband as your business partner? How is that?
It's probably a whole nother podcast, Rachel, that we could think about, but it's been awesome. Most couples probably couldn't do it. He and I do. So we have really clear swim lanes. We really plus each other. So he has strengths. He comes from a logistics background. I'm in logistics, by the way. So he has the background and the know-how of how things need to be from an operational standpoint, kind of day to day and overall. And then I'm here with my organizational management, building teams and keeping things going from a people ops and vision and all of that and growing the business.
That's so great that you're a compliment. I'm thinking if I were to do that with my husband, like how would that go? And I'm not sure.
I know.
I guess you don't know until you try it. And Sarab, if you're listening, forgive me, but I think we both think it would be hard. I don't think we either of us really desire that, but kudos to you for streamlining and figuring that out and having those swim lanes, whether it's actually relationship versus work, and I know a few
Absolutely.
couples like that. It's an interesting place to navigate and good job getting
Thank
to
you.
do that.
Thank you. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very proud. I'm very proud of us.
It's a big skill for sure. And you're a mom, right?
Yes.
How old is your daughter
Yes.
now? Bliss.
So my daughter, Blessy, is 10 years old. She's doing her little graduation ceremony this week. The three of us are, she's very much a part of the conversation as well, which is so awesome. We cannot not talk about work. So it's been really fun for her to see her parents do this. She's exposed to it. She's part of the conversation. So it's a lot of fun.
One question I've been getting from a lot of similar people who I work with who are like in tech doing things, but they have this itch to do something different and branch out and go on their own. So can you help me? How do you know when you're ready to leave? You mentioned you're feeling a little burned out. The things weren't as challenging, but like, was there any like one thing where you're like, yep, I'm out of here? Or was it like
Yeah.
over time, did it build up? I'm just so curious because I think a lot of people have this same question.
For sure. When it comes to working in the corporate environment, we very much have this golden handcuff concept of like, it's so good working in a corporation, right? You've got everything's kind of there. It's handed to you on a silver platter, which is awesome. So for me, I appreciated it very much. I had some of the best years of my life working it. For me, towards the end of my career, I wasn't seeing the progress that I was used to making. I came from the world of startups, right? So I'm used to moving quick and making quick decisions. I have a very big desire to strive for excellence in my personal life.
You're pretty driven, Becky.
I'm very driven. There we go. I'm driven. So I was growing complacent. Obviously have read your book on pause and understand the concepts of like really taking a step back and thinking about what it is that you want. I took about a month off. Luckily, I was able to take that time off, and that was really awesome for me to reevaluate what it was that I wanted to do from a personal standpoint, from a professional standpoint. And for me, those things are very much, I started a business with my husband, so they're very much intertwined, which is okay. It works for me. But yeah, I found that I was talking too much about other organizations and not as much about the customer. I needed to change.
You were ready.
I was totally ready. I just needed to do something different. And so I made the change, but it was not an easy decision. And it's something that was very, very scary at the time.
Yeah.
It took me a while to make the move.
Yeah. And you did it. And I think that's what matters is you followed through and knowing that you did change. I think a lot of times we're hit with a lot of self-doubt and potentially even imposter syndrome, which I hear at one point we all get this, and there's stats like 75% of us at any given time have imposter syndrome across the board. So how often do you experience now self-doubt or imposter feelings in your new role?
Yeah, so that's a really good question because I don't feel it anymore, Rachel. I do think that I was, in a corporate environment, you get too much feedback, way too much feedback. People embrace feedback. That was good for a few years early on when the whole concept of, it was good. I feel like feedback, it needs to evolve. You really have to have the strength awareness. You've talked about it, like being able to understand your strengths. And yes, take the feedback, but don't let anyone dim your light. Those strengths that you bring to the table and the skills that you're bringing into your work life are what makes you you, and it makes you effective in a team environment. So this concept of self-doubt and imposter syndrome, I understand that you're going to have it when you're early on in your career. I had my fair share of it for sure. We all have 75%, like you said, have experienced it. But I'm happy to say that you can go through it and get through it and know that I can do anything I set my mind to, and I'm not going to let anyone get in my way. And of course, I'll take feedback and listen to it to change.
You are a year into the role in the new company. So to me, that is a sign of working through whatever were the things that were in the way of feeling more confident and knowing that you don't have to believe your thoughts, knowing that you don't have to succumb to all the things that might be negative that you're telling yourself.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And being able to explore why it is that you're feeling that way. Why do you feel that you can't do the job, or why do you feel self-doubt? And really taking the time to understand what made you feel that way, because most people within a corporate environment can do the job, right? It's just don't let that get in the way. I think it takes a lot of work on acceptance, takes a lot of work on resilience, takes a lot of work on knowing yourself and being strong enough to stand up for what it is that you think needs to be done.
Yeah.
That's why I love running my own business.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're an industry veteran, so you've had years of experience doing things which have helped you be in that space as well, which is
That's right.
important to know, and that it's not just something that you snapped out of or something like that. We've
God,
been
no.
in the trenches. You've done your work.
Yeah, 25 years of tech.
Yeah,
I've had my fair share of all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know what I think comes along with career progression is investing in ourselves in terms of how to move yourself forward. So what investments have you made in your career?
The notion of working for different kinds of companies and living in different cities. I started my career in the Northwest, then moved to Central California, then moved to Southern California, then moved to New York. I think all those moves working for different companies really helped. They were hard. They were difficult. It's very hard to kind of pick up and make a move when you're starting fresh and not knowing anyone in a new city other than your colleagues at work. But that for me was just such a confidence boost. Every move that I made, I learned from so many different people and understood how things were done, both good and bad. So I learned good things and I learned what to do and what not to do. So I think the investment for me was being open to the idea of doing more. Don't just work at one job. Do more. That's how you want to round yourself out from a career standpoint. So that was huge. And I have done a ton of work on resilience. So resilience training has been huge. And I'm sure, Rachel, you've tons to say on the topic too, just the concept of resilience. If you're used to performing and you're high functioning and you're used to running with teams that like to run as fast as you have to be able to take breaks and pause and really understand what keeps you there. So resilience training, all that has been wonderful. Those are the investments I just can't take back, because anytime you make a move, it's great for your career, but personally too. My God, I've made so many wonderful friends and so much fun with every change that I've made. The more that you grow in your career, you kind of reflect back on, wow, all the hard work that it took to get to this point. So I think that's the investment. Any kind of thing like that you can't take away. Just makes you live your life more to the
Yeah,
full.
that's full. Knowing you moved around, you weren't afraid to take a chance or a risk in a new place, moving into different roles. All of that is great. Plus resilience training, which, oh my goodness, do we need that now or what in terms of the work? And I do a lot of that, actually. It's a common request from a lot of companies because people cannot continue to sustain the pace where we're at with the world of uncertainty right now and the 24/7 on this. If you haven't learned how to turn off, which is really hard when there's demands and you don't know how to do anything different, it actually becomes a thorn in your side or just something that's not serving you. And I totally understand that and glad
Yeah,
that you all that training for yourself as well.
totally. And this is something that you talk about with the anxiety, the constant anxiety that you feel when you turn everything off, you're sitting with yourself. I think that there's beauty in that peace. There's beauty in that calm. There's beauty in being able to just sit
Yeah.
and take it in.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it helps clear your mind. It really does. It helps you understand what it is that you need to focus on and how you need to, get through your day. Okay, I'm rambling, but go ahead.
No, it's good because if we can't sit with ourselves, it's also a real challenge because then we feel really anxious. And what you brought up for me was it takes courage to do that, honestly. And I think a lot of people don't think of things like that, where if we just sit in stillness to just be with ourselves without anything on our plate, that can be really scary because it's actually a time where you're with yourself in a way where you're not filling up your time to be busy and thinking of other things, which means there's like exposure there. Like, oh, do I really like my job? Or like, am I spending enough time with my children? Like the things that can be potentially stirring, that takes courage. You shared a good point around being okay to sit with yourself is part of resilience because you're learning how to be in a space where you are brave and just being like, it actually sounds so silly and crazy. Like, hey, I'm brave to do nothing. But it told me people aren't doing that. I feel like it's a challenge in itself. And I know that because, I burned out and that was my story. I was just overfilling my calendar and overworking because I was scared to show up and really question, like, what am I like? Am I supposed to be doing this? Or my identity was all wrapped up in work and all of those things.
I think that's been the biggest, kind of where I'm at right now of like, wow, to reflect back on that was my map was my calendar for the day. Like it didn't, my calendar dictated my day. And I just, oh man, that's not, that's how corporations are. And that's, I live my life in 30-minute chunks from one conversation to the next and the next. And I was looking at the time and I got to go and I'll follow up, like all that stuff just is draining. So once you step away from it, you realize the madness. I mean, it's necessary. So I'm not speaking ill of it. It's just one way you can live your life, or you can run that as much as you can, but you can also do something different. And what an awesome opportunity that has been for others. It might be changing course, changing jobs altogether, or spending more time on doing the things that you love, not taking it, put, all the stuff that we talk about,
Yeah.
time for yourself and that kind of thing so that you can step away. Because I can tell you, the big ideas don't come in that day. When you are sitting there back to back to back to back, you don't have time to think about strategy and to think about what it is what your goals are and how you want to get there. So having the time to really reflect, I think is way more productive.
You're
than
here.
being stuck in it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure a few people might identify with what you said. My calendar is my map for the day. I don't know. Maybe one or two of us out there might have that
I think so. I think
sentiment.
there's others
I
that
mean,
can
who
relate to.
doesn't feel like that? I feel like every person on the planet who has a job
Yeah.
in tech
Yeah.
right now has that probably same sentiment. So I totally relate. All right. I wanted to ask you this question about the last question I have for you in terms of a breakthrough. Like, so knowing you're in this company, you've been in it for a year in logistics, what would a breakthrough look like for you as a leader personally in the next year, like this coming year?
So breakthrough for me is talent management. I really enjoy helping people live to their full potential and helping people reach their own goals and get them to where they want to be. I find a lot of joy in that and satisfaction in that. So a breakthrough for me would be making sure that our teams are running as efficiently and optimally and successfully as possible. We strive for excellence. I want to run an excellent organization. And you know that there's that sweet spot. There's always little things that you can tweak, a lot of hustle, a lot of training, a lot of focus on people development. So a breakthrough would be just, having things just run, just like a well-oiled machine. We're getting there. We're already running a very successful operation. I know that it's on the roadmap to grow and to get the people who are within our circle, get them to where they want to be as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. People
Okay.
development. Yep.
So a well-oiled machine with team and the next level of performance for everybody there. And
Yep.
you being an incredible people leader.
Awesome. Thank you.
Are there any other nuggets or wisdom words you'd like to share, Becky, as we wrap up here in terms of anything for people to know how to pivot or pause or all these things that
As people listening, you know your strengths. And if you don't know them, spend time on what you're really good at. And you'll know when you're feeling that you're, when you're doing excellent work, right? You know, when you can feel it, you can sense it. It's like it's a little wave that you want to ride, right? So if you're not feeling that way and you're feeling bored and you're feeling unhappy, all the anxiety, all the stress of all the changes happening in the world, blah, 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 take some time, man. Take some time away and just try to understand why. Know that there are other options out there and just be open, right? Be open. Life is short. Life is too short. So you got to go out and live it and just follow your heart.
Follow your heart. Listen, I hear all of that. So thank you so much, Becky. This has been so nice to reconnect with you and just love and appreciate all of that you shared today. I'm very grateful for all of what we've done together and excited for your next chapter here. How can people find you or in the world? Where
Just find me on LinkedIn, reach out and say hi. It's good stuff. And Rachel, thank you for taking the
I'll put that in
time.
the show notes and your LinkedIn profile there. And thank you so much for coming today, Becky. Really good to be with you again.
Awesome, Rachel. Real quick, thank you for all the work that you're doing to help professionals and to help, everyone in the field get better at, being present with yourself and understanding that there are ways to be happy at work and personal. And you've teed up so many awesome ideas. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for joining me on the Pausecast. If today's conversation resonated with you, share it with a colleague or a fellow leader who could use a little more clarity in the middle of the noise. For more tools and resources to help you lead with confidence, visit rachelomera.com. Until next time, remember, the pause isn't a luxury, it's a critical leadership skill.